Welcome to my November collective reading. I am happy to have you. If you're new here, maybe the last 6 months I've been doing a collective reading using my tarot decks and oracle cards, and they've been coming out really well. I find that for my collective, these are messages meant to help you and to assist you with life. I think having that guidance and support is something that's incredible and available to us, and it feels a little bit easier to navigate through the madness. So before I start November, I do want to send my love and deepest condolences to the people of Palestine. I feel so sad to know that people are being murdered, and I think for all of us, it just doesn't feel good, and it's so hard to watch, and I can't even imagine what it would be like over there. So I just wanted to share in solidarity and support and let you know that I stand with you, and I'm so sorry. And I just emailed my representative, so if you feel that you want to join in and contribute to some sort of resolution to all of this, then we can let our politicians know and at least tie up ends on that end. But my heart just goes out to everyone right now, because I know none of this is easy, and yeah, I think this is a huge thing that we all experience in the world. Like, you know, how could a God exist when all these horrible things are happening? And a lot of really existential questions come up, because I mean, how do you even justify killing people? Yeah, it's just, sometimes it can be really challenging to, especially recently since the pandemic, to continue forward. And so I just hope that I can share a little bit more light and love into the world, just to help us go on, and to help all of us go on with some sort of hope and optimism for the future and whatever's next. So a lot of the readings from the past several months were about really getting clear on what our relationship with efforting and energy, and for a lot of us that bleeds into work and career, and just kind of how we create stability in our lives. And so we've been really called to check in with how we're relating with all of that. And, you know, this could have been the first time that you ever had the awareness to look at how you work a lot or work too much, you know, and even for me, I've been going through themes of, yeah, how does it all relate and come together for me in my life? And a lot of the messages that were coming through were to remember everything that we do have around us, and to remember what we do have available to us. A lot of the messages coming through had to do with our thoughts, and how it was so important to be aware of where our thoughts went and what thoughts we were even having, especially in the realm of building stability and career. So for November, it seems like it's going a little bit off to the side, not to the side, but like, I was gonna say tangent, but so for this month, I just got a new deck. I love it so much. It's so cute. It's got cute little cards and just right up my alley. And the author, Allison. So I did kind of like a big spread. Here's what I'm looking at. I did the same spread that I always do, and I also have my Flower of Life cards that I'm gonna pull from. And oh yeah, I got a new tattoo. She's super cute. She's still healing. But yeah, so as far as this month ahead is going, we might have been in this stage of really hermit mode for sure, and kind of almost getting caught up in our feels. And I'm trying to be really intentional with how I say it, because it's not like coming from this mean place of like, suck it up or blah, blah, blah. So you might have been really just navigating deep existential things, and we're being asked to move away from living there and always being there, and there meaning like just so deep in our emotions. Even now sometimes we get so, ruminating is the word that's coming to my mind, but we have to be aware of this balance that's being asked of us in terms of, and a big image that came through during when I was pulling cards was coming up to the surface, being so deep in our emotions that we need to come up for air. And so that is kind of what we're being asked to step away from. And I also pulled a card that refers to community, and so I was kind of like, But it seems like we're being asked to come up to the surface so that we can return to this playful and this joyful energy in community, in collaboration with one another. Really remembering this dualistic nature of existence, and kind of like that fine line we were just talking about, knowing when it's time to come up to the surface. And from how this is describing it, it seems like in November we're being asked to come up to the surface. Almost I'm seeing like someone stepping out of the ocean up onto land, and we're being asked to restore that balance. We took the time we needed to go inward, and now we're being asked to bring it forward and be willing to be vulnerable and to be brave and to initiate when it's time, if that makes sense. And yeah, I had to get a little bit of clarification with that one, just because it felt, I was just trying to get context from where this introspection was and where we needed to go. But knowing that it's okay to be there, and it's so important that we connect to that deeper part, but also know that just as the waves come and the cycles come, we're called to move forward and to come to the surface. And what we are being asked to step towards in the new month is a couple of different things. At first, we got a couple sevens and the unfolding in reverse, but I'm gonna show it to you like that. So cute. But really, this idea of checking in to make sure that what we're doing is in line with where we want to go. And I think that's kind of been a theme these last few months anyways, of just making sure we're not doing things out of fear or scarcity. And in previous months, I think that came through materially, but in this kind of message, it seems like really just like in the terms of, it's still kind of effort, but just checking in with ourselves, making sure our thoughts are aligned, making sure our actions are aligned, making sure that we are trusting this process and not forcing. And I think that is where we need to check in. Continue checking in with, am I forcing this? Am I trying to will something into existence? Am I trying to make it happen? Am I trying to rush into this? Really get clear on how you are relating with your environment and the things around you. Because there is this divine unfolding that is occurring that we're not always privy to, and I think just nature has grown into this idea of just a big hug, and like this idea that we're being held. And that's really all I know how to explain it at this point. But remembering that joy and these feelings that we're longing for, they are here. They're here now. And when we can come from this intention and this place of truth and really doing something because it's like it's on our hearts and things like of that nature, we have everything that we are looking for and searching for. We're being called to be brave and to continue to be vulnerable. So knowing that when we lead with the heart, we are doing everything that we need to be doing in that moment. Really not forcing, but enjoying the ride and enjoying these waves. And I'm going to pull this card from the first part of the reading. But do you see those waves in the background? Those are kind of just symbolic of life's waves, life cycles. And so this month we're being called to buckle our seatbelt, essentially. And I feel like that has been, I don't know, the theme for the last 3 years. But it's coming through again, so. And, I wrote down a quote that I really enjoyed from one of the cards. We cannot change what happens to us, but we can change the way we respond. And again, knowing that we can choose joy and knowing that we can choose these feelings of peace and abundance, and knowing that we don't have to do it alone and don't have to effort so hard. Yeah, knowing that those fears and those lies telling you that you're not doing enough and you're not being enough, those are not true. So checking in with our intentions. So number 3, additional information to know as we move forward. And this was really cute. So basically knowing that these challenges and these difficulties are coming to an easing up, coming to a close. I mean, it's not saying difficulties are just going to disappear forever because they're inevitable, but knowing that anything that's feeling like a delay or a setback is okay. It's not anything bad. It doesn't mean anything about you. Just continue to trust the process. Continue to maintain your faith and know that, yeah, there's light, and follow that light. And another quote that I got, I think it might have been from the difficulties card, but these seasons won't last forever, so try to find the lessons you can while you're here. And if that's not so resonating for me, maybe it will be for you. So really just the right mindset, these right thoughts, making sure that we are not getting lost in illusion or doubt, and really maintaining our trust in this process, trust in this unfolding. Number 4 is, how is all of this happening in our best interest? And this one is interesting, but it's so cool because they're all kind of like saying similar things. Again, this is in our best interest because just as we were talking about seasons, and just as I shared my latest podcast episode on seasons, we are being asked to step into this flow, to know that we are part of this cyclical nature, and knowing that's our natural state, to be in this flow, not to be creating all this resistance and friction. And I'm getting the image of like doing their hooves in the dirt, like, or even your feet, and you're like, no, almost like getting dragged. But we're really becoming aware of like all of this forcing, and that it's coming from anxiety. And when we feel like we need to control or force something, that's stemming from anxiety about something. And as we're kind of learning, and as we've been talking about these last several months, we're moving toward a place of moving away from scarcity, which includes forcing and controlling, and moving towards this idea of trust and abundance and fulfillment. And so this is reminding us that we don't need to do things based on anxiety. We don't need to, when we feel this need to control or force, it's because we're having anxiety, and that is coming from a place not of love. It's coming from fear to keep us safe, of course, and you could say that that is a love-based action or intention. I'm just, I guess, getting to the point of when we can slow our roll on the forcing and controlling and move the needle towards trust, it just loosens up. Things get less like stifled and constricted. And this is all in our best interest, because we cling too much. And I say we because I'm human, and we're all human, and we all cling to reality and cling to our attachments and cling to anything that seems sturdy. Like that just is what it is. But all of this in our lives and in this month moving forward is happening so that we can get back into that flow and that trust, and knowing that things come seasonally. I like this card. And cyclically, back to this card with the hills and the waves, and like that's been a big message for me too, is just like all the ways in which duality is. And yeah. So number 5 is what we should be building for the month ahead, and these are all so interesting. So I freaking pulled the gauntlet, but the good gauntlet. So Queen of Pentacles, Magician, Chariot, Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles, and Hanged Man. And if you are a tarot reader or anything like that, you know that those are all major arcana cards. So the Queen of Pentacles was in reverse initially. So I did one of the Rider-Waite, then I did one of From the Journey, and then I did another, just for clarification. And then I did more because this is an in-depth reading. So I got Queen of Pentacles, Change in reverse, and the Hanged Man in reverse. And to me, that just meant that we needed to be building on our trust and building on eliminating the doubt. Really just this whole reading is about like deepening our trust, and I think that that's always going to be the message in a weird way, but really trusting the change. And I love the change card because it is also more cycles. The moon, it changes, and change can be scary, but like change is happening all on this kind of like bigger clock and this bigger cycle. And so when we can relax into that and know that just because things are changing or looking different doesn't mean things are like going to be horrible and bad, and know that even when things do get bad, when you really tune into yourself and your power, you know that you can go through anything and that you can navigate whatever comes your way. And I think this might have come from change, but anchor yourself to your inner depths. Everything flows. And I pulled the Magician, the Chariot, blah, blah, blah afterwards. So really just building on this trust and building on this inner power that we have, and building on this just knowing that when we can surrender to life and tune into our hearts, that we have all of the riches and fruits that we desire and that we need, and that we're supported in this journey. And yeah, I love it that the Chariot came out, because a lot of times I pull the Chariot in reverse, and so seeing it upright is pretty cool because it symbolizes victory, movement, and really just, it looks like this idea of like being in control and in charge, but in like a healthy way. But I think it's also cool because look who else is in charge in a healthy way. They're both sitting on the throne. And so I think just building in that just inner knowing, and like the other parts of this reading, trusting in the cycle and the flow. So finally, I meant to do the flower of life, but I can do that also. Oh, the sunflower came up first. So energy to embrace as a protective shield, and this is freaking cool. This is what I love about tarot, and also what I love about combining decks, but this is what I drew for that. I got the abundance card and the 10 of coins. And if you know about tarot, then you know the 10 of coins is like this idea of abundance and all of that stuff being around you and really embodying that. So what I took from this is embodying that knowledge and that wisdom of knowing that no matter what's happening and no matter what part of change you're going through or the cycle that you're going through, you have everything you need, and it's all happening. And when we are really zoomed into like a part of a cycle, it can feel we might feel scarcity and we might see things, but knowing that it's all divine and that every single part is important. And I like the moon because you see how the moon is new right here and dark. Well, that's a part of that moon's journey, and it might look dark, but it's like it's a part of it. And this is kind of where, spiritual ideas get a little interesting to try to integrate, because I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about everything happens for a reason, and probably a lot of stuff that I share and say, and it doesn't always make sense. And I think a lot is difficult for us to understand with limited brain capacity. And I'm not calling us stupid or dumb. I'm just saying, like, if you think about the consciousness that it takes to create this whole entire universe and the plants and all these things, we don't really know how it's done. So I imagine it's like this higher consciousness that knows more than I do and knows how things are going. And so, okay, we'll do this one because it's fall. I like it. Mind. We enter and explore the mind to know and love it, not to force it into submission. You don't have to change your mind or make it different to what it is just because you don't like what it is saying. We are not battling the mind. We are making love and peace so we can embrace it. From this vibration of unconditional love, your mind and heart heal and open, coming together in harmony. Now from this balanced place, you can do what Gandhi suggested to free the mind. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be inspired by your divine love, wisdom, and strength. I like that. Because I think throughout all of this journey, we are really learning to have right mind and right mindset about how we think about things and how we relate to things. Let's pull a couple more. Dive in. Let us not be concerned with where we have come from or where we may be going. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel into the eternal moment happening now and now and now. Allow all to be as it is. Sink deeper into you. Fall into your grace. Dive in and allow the riches of you, infinite unconditional love, to be revealed. Let go, let it be. Allow your treasure, your riches to shine brightly, shedding light into every part of you, illuminating any darkness, transforming it into love, balanced energy that will reveal the very truth of you. Free yourself of all that holds you back. I love that. I love that these cards, the flowers, it's like flowers through the seasons, but it might not be a flower, but it's still like nature. I love nature if you haven't already been able to tell. Ooh. Time. I like this one. It seems like it will relate to the unfolding. You are a ray of light and love beyond time and space. When you chose to focus your attention upon the earth plane, you created a physical body to experience manifestation, and you created time. Time is a way to measure manifestation so you can fully appreciate the experience of the physical. In oneness, you are a ray of light. Awaken to your fullness, to all of you, and no longer be limited by the perception that you are in dense form only. You are light immersed into creation, free to move through all planes of existence to a stillness of no time. In this moment, in any moment, close your eyes and breathe. Allow all of you to be here in this moment. Feel yourself in no time, just this moment leading to the next. A chain, a link that contains all you need to move you to the next moment. In this place, time becomes flexible. It pulses, collapses, and expands, and all occurs simultaneously. In this elastic state, new concepts, ideas, inventions, and alterations are readily available to you. Open your heart. Feel the love of all. From this moment, no longer will you make fear. Instead, you will make love in each moment, and time will incrementally show you many manifestations of that love. I like that. Okay, you want to do one more? I like this blue one. Okay, perfect. Right here, right now, you are perfect. You are love and oneness. The trick is to feel and know this. It is time to step onto the path of self-discovery, move into your center, and heal all you are aware of at this moment, transforming these wounds into acceptance and peace. Then bring this love and acceptance to your outer world, no longer attached to the wounds that push your buttons, allowing you to be free of the pain. This is an ongoing unfolding of you. I love it. Each time you become aware of something that needs to heal, go back inside to your center. It becomes easier every time, and you may get to a place where you view this process as a way to love and accept something new about yourself. I love it. So we have mind, dive in, time, and perfect. Well, I really like the perfect kind of theme about, trusting this journey and trusting the unfolding. I also like the dive in because it kind of connects to the coming up to the surface metaphor and just that water. Scorpio season. That water. Look, it's even in the moon card. The water. But, oh shit, it's over there. And then I like the mind because it seems like, again, a lot of the differentiation between scarcity and love and abundance is in our minds. And yeah, that's another one of those like complex things that isn't just black and white. But yeah, we have so much power in our minds, and being intentional and conscious of the way we use it is so important, especially how we navigate life. And really just this idea of time, like we are a ray of light, and throughout all of this, whatever we're doing on this planet and experiencing now, we, when you zoom out, are part of this big oneness. And if we ever feel alone or lost, know that we do have this whole entire support system and family that we can be a part of. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for keeping up with these readings. I hope that they resonate, and I hope that you get something out of it. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, have a great rest of your month.